teammates and how they kind of, pushed you along?
Well, he certainly set the table and showing us our work habits and everything that you need to be successful on the farm. Up early in the morning, and as we got older, living at home as teenagers, and Dad liked to play hard too. But as teenagers, would we run around on the weekend and play hard? Never a morning without 6 a.m. Come on, guys, you want to play hard? Get your asses out of bed. That was it.
Let's talk about your minor hockey days. First team outside of the farm that you played on, and how you advanced along in the minor hockey days.
I played as a 15-year-old in the old Central Alberta Junior Hockey League, Junior B. I was 15, as I said. There were guys that were 20 years old, and I got a few pretty good lickings in that year. Following year, I went to Red Rustlers training camp, made that team, didn't play a whole lot. Then the following year, in Red Deer, I played more. Kelly Kissio was a star. Brother Brent came up as a 15-year-old and played there. I was fortunate enough to get 100 points that year. Went on to Lethbridge, which was major junior then, and scored 50 goals, 125 points. Had a few scraps, and that summer was the only time the NHL draft was not in June. It was in August that summer of '79, and I got drafted to the Islanders in first round and went to camp. Played like 15 or 16 games in a very short period of time between rookie games and that. A few of them games, Archie Henderson was on the other team and Washington's farm team, and they put the fear of God into us, but we still kicked their ass, so it was good. So then I went back to Lethbridge after that training camp, played 20-some games, and Islanders had a bunch of injuries. I got recalled in November, played my first NHL game in Edmonton, had some pretty good success, and hung in there and managed to stay there for 8 years.
What did you learn from your brothers in those early years in terms of the hockey league?
Well, with Brian and Daryl setting the table with getting drafted and playing major junior hockey, you wanted to be better than them because of the competitive spirit. And a lot of people say, well, you made it because they made it. And that's a bunch of bullshit, because you made it because they probably got you the first look, but after that you had to do it by yourself.
And in terms of skills, what skills did you have, and what skills did you have to work on when you were a young guy moving up?
Well, as a 15-year-old, I didn't play a lot. As a 6-year-old, didn't play a lot. But you keep that passion, that drive, and find ways to make teams, stay in the lineup. So I learned that as a teenager. Then when I went to the Islanders as a first-round pick and 2 pretty good junior seasons prior to that, I wasn't going to play ahead of Mike Bossy. So I had to figure out another way to play, and that was stick your nose in there and scrap and piss off the top players on the other team. And it worked. So I stayed up there and contributed to 4 cups.
Okay, we're going to take a little break and shift back to another round of quick fire questions, which I know you love. This time the word is toughest. Don't say blonde with big tits. Toughest, mom or dad?
Mom.
Toughest brother?
Brian.
Toughest teammate?
Clark Gillies again.
Toughest goalie?
Well, Smitty fought a lot. But not just in games. Once a week with his teammates in practice. Right? You know?
Toughest defenseman?
Scott Stevens was a tough guy to play against.
Toughest forward. Clark again?
Well, Terry Riley was a tough bastard.
Toughest coach you played for?
Mike Keenan.
Toughest GM? I'm sure there were a few.
Well, Bill Torrey, but that was just out of respect. He was another father figure in my life.
Okay. Toughest opposition team?
Well, Oilers beat us to stop our streak of 4, so I guess you got to say them.
Toughest opponent, hockey player?
Gretzky. Dad used to tell us, well, can't you guys fucking hit him? and we'd say, Dad, some of you guys out here probably, you go to a small town fair or rodeo and the grease pig race. They throw you in the rodeo arena and put half the kids in the far end, half in this end, and in the middle they turn out a pig, greased pig. If you catch it, it's yours. Well, that's what Gretzky's like. You think you had him, and you gone. That's why Gretzky was tough to play against.
I have to say, you talking about greased pigs reminds me of the muted short stay at the UFC.
Did you win one round?
So it shows our different concentration. Okay,
You didn't answer.
next question.
Toughest
game you remember?
The one I mentioned to these guys, losing or winning in overtime in 4 overtime periods. I can't imagine in 5.
Toughest Canadian fans?
Wow. Because Winnipeg was a tough building to play in. My first NHL season was a merger of the WHA and NHL, as I said earlier. So it was a different beast. Probably them. It was an old building. Flames were a tough team when they came from Atlanta, playing in the old Corral. They were the biggest team in the league by a long shot.
Toughest U.S. fans?
Madison Square Garden, Rangers, they suck.
Toughest sport other than hockey?
Football's a tough sport, I think. I couldn't play because I couldn't throw a football from here to you. But they're a bunch of big men and they're freaking play hard.
Toughest team outside of hockey that you admire?
Oh, tough is not just drop your gloves and fight, in my opinion. Tough is winning the big games, hanging in there, going through all the day-to-day rigors to win. So right now, as today, I'd say Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay. Toughest athlete other than a hockey player that you admire?
Baseball, Cal Ripken. He played a long time, never missed a lot of games, and he was always at the top of his game.
Toughest injury?
Started my second NHL season. I was on a point to game pace, and I wrecked my knee, so I had major surgery. Came back too early in the second round of playoffs to win the second cup, and it was an injury that was a nagging injury. I had 7 scopes in the next 9 years, and finally finished my career.
Toughest work, hockey or farming?
Farming. Some of them rocks are big, heavy bastards.
Toughest day of the week? A nonsense question.
Yeah, probably Monday because you had to go back to school.
And the final one in this round. Toughest thing you've ever done? That you want to admit to?
Hit 7-iron.
That's right, Dad. Hit 7. I have enough trouble hitting the friggin' putter.
Okay, let's move back to your career. You kind of went through the minor hockey up to junior with Lethbridge, getting drafted by the Islanders, and immediately, really, you didn't play in the minors very little, which really is quite amazing. Most guys have to spend some time in the minors.
I was drafted as that year of the merger. They drafted underage players, so that was the first year. So I got drafted as an underage, so I still had junior eligibility. I remember after the exhibition schedule and training camp, Al Arbor and Bill Torrey telling me how pleased they were with my play, but geez, you're scrawny. You got to go back home and get stronger. Fortunately for me, that, like I said earlier, they had a bunch of injuries, and in November I got called up, and the rest was history.
And what an amazing run! The Islanders, such a powerhouse, winning 4 in a row. That must have been amazing for you.
It was the first one. You were too naive to know better. You enjoyed it, but the second one came along, and then you realized, right, you could win 3, 4 in a row maybe. And then the third and fourth one, Brother Brent come out of Lethbridge, so that was a great treat to win 2 cups with him. And the fifth one, the Oilers have been knocking on the door for a few years, so we had a bunch of injuries, but no excuse. They were the better team. They were faster and up and coming team, so they beat us.
And what a team you guys had these days. I mean, everybody was top of the mark.
We had a lot of different kind of players, and we could play against any team. 1980, in 78, 79, the Islanders finished first in the league, got upset early in playoffs both years. So they were ready they'd learned a few lessons, they were ready to win, and it was fortunate that I was in that situation to be able to contribute. And the biggest thrill that there were 16 of us that played on all 4 cup teams, and the biggest thrill that we still have and still talk about today when we get together is winning 19 consecutive playoff series. That's a record that'll never be broken.
Do you guys still get together? I mean, I know a few of the guys are gone now, but you still keep in touch?
Yeah, we do. The new Islander ownership have done a tremendous job at bringing people back and celebrating once a year. And I still, like, Clarkie was a very dear friend of mine. Boss was a solid guy. He'll never he scored goals because you never knew if he scored 5 last night or if he was -5. He just had the same temperament the whole time. And that's a good thing for everybody to have. It doesn't matter if you're a hockey player or going to work tomorrow morning or jumping on the tractor, whatever you're doing. Just go about it the same way every day. There's all them guys are still dear friends. I still see Bobby Nye, Kenny Morrow, Butchie, Trotz. We were a close group. Like I said, there were 16 of us that won all 4 cups together.
Amazing. I look at those days, and the Islanders, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary were all pretty powerful through that period, through the 80s anyway. And give us some thoughts about the teams you played against, especially those 3 I mentioned, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary. They were all good teams.
They were all good teams, but in those years you played by division, to win your divisions, right? And we had to get past Rangers, Washington, Pittsburgh, and as did Chicago, St. Louis, Minnesota in the Central, Edmonton, Calgary, and so on out this way. So I get a kick out of today's players because they're whining about, oh, we got to beat this team and this team, and we got beat out because of this series. Well, it hasn't changed. I'm going back to the late 70s, the same way. There's good teams.
So your career ends in Chicago. I want to march into your post-NHL. What happened when it all wrapped up in Chicago, and how did you? What did you decide? To go into coaching, that kind of thing.
It was mostly because of my injury from my second season. My knee injury I just got tired of playing with the pain and having different procedures done to try and stay on top of your game. Obviously, not winning cups in those years hurt you a little bit deep down. At the end of the day, when I retired, Bob Pulford, the GM of Chicago, offered me two options. I could have gone to Indianapolis, their farm team, and coach the farm team, or could go out west and tutor underneath a guy that had been their amateur scout for a long time. So I chose to go back west, mentored with him, and then so I scouted for 2 years. Then I decided I wanted to try coaching. I went into coaching, ended up in their farm team in Indianapolis, which the job I turned down 3 or 4 years prior to that. And two and a half years there, and then I went to Florida as assistant coach and got an opportunity as the head coach. Wasn't ready, but anyone in your right mind is not going to turn down an opportunity to be a head coach in the National Hockey League if it's offered to you. So I tried it, didn't work, and so I went back into player development and scouting.
And when did you wrap up your time in the NHL?
Summer of 1990, I retired as a player, and 3 years ago as a scout.
Let me ask you a final question in this segment. Accomplishments you're most proud of?
4 cups. One season voted as team MVP by the fans, which not a big deal to some people, but you know what? That they're there every game and they do have an opinion. They did then and they do now.
Okay, one final question round. This time the word is weird.
Goalies.
I haven't started it. Weirdest brother.
Brian.
Weirdest team you ever played for?
Oracle Blasters.
I knew that was coming.
my senior hockey team, right? There's the coach and GM from Slapshot right there.
Weirdest teammate?
Smitty.
Weirdest coach?
I'm going to go back a few years here. Junior hockey. There's a tie. John Chapman and Patty Janelle.
Did I know them both? Okay, weirdest GM that I'm sure players have some thoughts about that.
Wow. You know what? Weird to me is someone making mistakes. But that doesn't mean they don't have success. So a guy like Scotty Bowman, how many decades did he coach in, right? Coach or manage? That's a tough question.
Weirdest opposing team you faced?
Washington.
Okay, weirdest opponent?
Rod Langway.
Weirdest goalie? I think that's Smitty.
Yeah, that could be Smitty. Over and over and over.
Weirdest defenseman?
We had a guy on our team named Mike McEwen. He was way out there. Way out, outer space.
Where is forward? Don't say yourself.
Probably Richie and Ronnie, their nicknames were Magpie 1 and Magpie 2.
Weirdest athlete outside of hockey?
I like the Blue Jays, but Guerrero still got to give a little bit more. He's kind of out there too.
He hit a home run.
Oh.
Okay, we
Good
like
for
the
him.
better now. Weirdest fans?
Madison Square Garden, Rangers.
Weirdest city you played in?
Atlanta.
Weirdest country you visited?
Hungary.
Weirdest food you eat?
Bear.
Weirdest drink?
Hungarian good luck drink, Polenka.
Weirdest farm animal?
Goat. I heard that.
Weirdest movie?
Caddyshack.
Weirdest superstition?
Some people would do their right skate up before their left. Some guys would leave their balls hanging over their jockstrap till they had to go to the ice.
Are you naming names?
There could be a table of them there.
Okay, final one. Weirdest thing about life?
Just the direction the world's going today, like friggin', you can't even kick a kid in the ass anymore.
I understand what you're saying. You're now in a final chapter, and I want to concentrate on the present and the future. And Duane, just your opinion about the state of the game at present.
The salary cap was a good move by the league. Kind of put everything in perspective for every team. There was nobody that could outspend the other. But with that said, not every GM is going to be perfect. There's going to be mistakes, and it all makes it really hard to make a hockey trade. It basically making a dollar for dollar trade.
How about just the general direction of the NHL and hockey in general? Where it's going, where you see it going?
Obviously, it's a faster game, but that's just there's a lot behind that. New equipment, skate sticks. They train better. They don't take as much time off in the summer. I know some guys like Rich Preston. He wouldn't even take his skates out of the back of his car till they'd be rusty. Take them out the day before camp open. Right, Nico? Your centerman was like that, Tom Wysiak.
Okay, let's move closer to home, the Flames. Pretty slow start. Just a comment or two on that.
Well, I think everybody knows that it's a long season. Wolf is a good goalie. I don't think he can handle 60-plus games. So they're going to have to find another backup goalie, or a backup goalie. I don't think they're really deep on the back end. And if you're going to have a goalie who's going to carry a big load, you can't be giving up a whole pile of prime chances against him every night. Are they well coached? Yes. Are they well managed? Very well. I think they have a little bit of work to do, in my opinion, in the backup goalie position and on the blue line.
And that leads me to possibilities. Where do you see this team maybe going this season and the season beyond? Do you see light at the end of the tunnel?
I think they've done a good job. Ryan Huska and Connie have done a good job Connie, I know there's a lot of folks that didn't really agree with Brother Darrell's techniques or whatever, but when him and I were working together, Connie retired, and we took Connie into the office, and we did it with 2 or 3 older players, took them in and tried to get them out in the field scouting or doing whatever. Connie was the only guy that rolled up his sleeves and buckled down. And